Hello, people worldwide. You're welcome to Between the Lines. Today, the very last Monday in the month of July. And I'm here with George Chuku from Toronto, Canada. Star Incorrect from Lagos, Nigeria. Gentlemen, you're welcome. Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't hear George.
Okay, go ahead. Yes, you're welcome, Raji.
Yeah, good
How?
evening,
Yes. Uh-huh.
and welcome to Between the Lines on Monday. I'm glad to be here again.
It's good to see you, George. George, let's hear you. Big George. We still can hear you, George. It's the mic. Okay. Anyway, Raji, you're welcome. Hope the
Thank you.
week was good. The weekend was good.
I tried to rest.
We-
It was good.
Yes, you had time to rest from all the hustling and bustling of Lagos. So how is Lagos today? What's happening? What's we hear all the news. Give us small tidbits to what's happening in Lagos today. What's happening?
You see, there's never a dull moment in Lagos.
Hmm.
Never a dull moment. Yes. So
True.
every interesting things
Yeah.
are happening. Lagos is the heart of the country. All is well.
All is well. So
Yeah.
uh we don't have we saw the statistics from channels. Is it channels? One of his network, and we heard um the Southwest is not much affected with this um unnecessary killing, gruesome killings of people. Is that true? Lagos doesn't have much crime, killings, and all that. How true is that, Raji?
That is quite true. It's quite true. And in fact,
Okay,
all hands should be on deck to keep the Southwest
okay.
from all these ancestral threats of kidnappers and
Mm-hmm.
things, because
Mm-hmm.
uh, the heart of the country is actually in the Southwest.
Mm-hmm.
The Southwest
Okay,
between the Atlantic and the Ocean River. We should be very careful
okay.
the things we do to each other in this environment.
Those environment. Okay, George is back. George, let's hear you. George, you're welcome. George from Toronto, Canada.
I don't think he can hear you.
I think he's frozen again. Anyway,
Uh, so
it's sad. Okay.
as I
Mm-hmm.
was saying, you see, the Southwest, the Southwest has been more or less like holding this country together. We should
Okay.
try all that we can do to let this country be stable, and we start our regeneration from the Southwest. Ensure that there's peace and stability in the Southwest. Move
Mm-hmm.
it to the north above the Niger, and
Mm-hmm.
across the Niger. It is for
Above
our
the
own safety
Niger,
and across the
yes,
Niger.
above Niger and across the Niger. Good phrase
Yes.
there. But as long as some other side, some other parts of the country are not experiencing peace, don't you think it will rub on the Southwest in terms of economically and socially and other things? I mean, it's a body of
Yes.
people. So when one part is affected, I think it would spiral around all the other
That,
parts.
that,
Is that not
that,
so?
that is why all efforts must be uh, put on ground to ensure that
Mm-hmm.
whatever is happening uh, outside the Southwest does not infiltrate into the Southwest and destabilize the Southwest. Because first of all, we should find a foothold where there's peace, and from there we should move
Mm-hmm.
around across the Niger, above the Niger. Then when it gets to across the Niger, then it can get above the Benue, and then we roll it up. If there's turbulence in all parts of the country, this country cannot stand. But luckily, there's sufficient peace and tranquility in the
Mm-hmm.
Southwest. Let us maintain it, but with everything necessary, and then let us
With
move from
everything.
there to, yes, to
Mm-hmm.
across the Niger and and
Okay.
above the Niger.
Mhm. Thank you very much, Raji. Raji, we just digressed a little while we're watching and waiting for George. So, viewers, you are tuned in to Between the Lines, the 28th of July, and we're here with George too. George, talk, tell us, say something.
Well, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we
Yes.
can hear you now.
Excellent. It's good to be here. I just want to welcome viewers from around the world on our Monday Between the Lines. So we have a lot packed up, eh? Massive Mark.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Good. Yeah, you always, gentlemen. Let's, George. Before you came in, Raji and I digressed and talked a little about security and the Southwest being not much affected in all of that. Yes, what do you say, Raji, George? Before we go on to the major stories.
Well, basically, I saw the post where, the number of people that were killed in many different parts of Nigeria, but Southwest was the lowest, and I think it's for a particular purpose, whereby when you take a look at the whole entire place, you saw what happened when the bandits wanted to come to Yoruba land. They were not allowed, because there was a general consensus and all of them were looking in the same direction together. I say, you're not going to come into this place and want to hijack what we're doing, or hijack or destroy our farmland. And that is exactly what they did. And as a result of that, and simply because you have Lagos, you have Ibadan, and you have other places, they say, no, you're not going to come over here and control us. So I'm believing that because of that, that's part of the reason why that place is a little bit more safer than any other, because they tried. They did try. But we saw how many times, how they were combated, how they were driven away, and they did not allow them to come and, settle, just like what is happening in the Southeast. With the Southeast, one of the major problems, it's not even the what you call the herdsmen or whatever. You saw a lot of killing that was taking place among each other. This sit-at-home situation that we're talking about. When people
George,
come out to trade,
George,
you start
so
killing
that
them on
we
a Monday.
we don't take time, but you see what you just hit there on the nail. That's the point. We are going to talk about this, George, mostly me and you, because we are from the Southeast. Our people are the ones killing themselves. Our people are the ones causing this this gruesome death we're seeing. I mean, imagine
And there was a question that
Friday.
Olayinka Raji asked a question. Why is Southeast still observing sit-at-home on Monday? That is a question that needs to be asked, because we need to talk to the governors. Why is sit-at-home still happening when Nnamdi Kanu is still in prison, and then this man that is in Finland has been arrested? So we are still observing who are the ones that are stopping people from trading on Monday. That's a good question that we need to address later.
Losing chunk of billions of money,
billions of naira. Yes,
to our economy, to family, crazy. All right, gentlemen, let's talk about more on this, but in another angle. During the weekend, what happened in Zamfara. Zamfara is northeast of Nigeria, and it was a terrible thing there, my brothers. 38 hostages were taken, and these men demanded for 50 million. Were paid this money, and they later killed all of those people that were taken as hostages. Raji?
You see, I still don't understand why the ransom is being paid. How do you encourage terrorists, criminals, by paying ransom? How is the ransom paid? Who is the go-between that ransom is paid? The other day, long ago, we used to see Gumi negotiating ransom with criminals. It has become a trade. It has become a business. And for as long as there's no sense in paying ransom. If you continue to pay ransom, you still continue to have kidnapping. Because the criminals don't have no honor.
Go ahead. Yeah.
The criminals have no honor. They have no honor at all. If you keep on paying ransom, you keep on having kidnapping. If you keep on rehabilitating Boko Haram terrorists, you will keep on having more Boko Haram terrorists in the cycle.
So,
My issue is this. Okay, 50 kidnapped or 56 kidnapped, 38 killed, only 18 released, even after money was paid. I am going to just ask the same question Olayinka Eraji is asking. Who did you pay the money to? What was the negotiation about? Where was the money dropped? Were they followed after the money was paid? Was it a bank account? Or is it a family affair with the Fulani oligarchy? Because we have to ask that question. If you don't ask hard questions, you're not going to get any truth behind it. These people are operating with the best of the best weapons, more than what our military is using. AK-45 and AK-47 and all the kinds of ammunition that they are using. Is it a family affair where the Fulani people are not rising up and say, no, this is not part of us? Or is it part of that thing that they're doing where all of a sudden, after a little while, they will gather about 1,000 virgins and marry them to the people that has been killing and doing all kinds of havoc among them, and then they're going to do a mass marriage and give them women so that they will not come to Chibok girls' situation again? Something is definitely wrong. And the government of Nigeria needs to look into this and stop it from the roots, because they are capable. Don't tell me because you go and kill a few of them and we're going to rejoice and begin to clap for you. Are you not a military person? Why are you appointed to be a military man to save the lives of Nigerians? If the police cannot do it, the military is there. The military is supposed to go out there, find these people. If they have to use drones or whatever technology that needs to be used, clear them all up or arrest them. But when you arrest them, what happened? 2 days later or a few days later, these people are released through the back door. Because it's a family business.
George,
it's a family business.
George,
I'm sorry.
Yeah. The other thing there is these bandits are being led by a notorious kingpin called Kachi Hala Bello. Raji, he's known in Zamfara. He's been causing havoc for years now. He's the one behind this act again, this latest act. Now, how can't this man be identified, taken out? Because we now have the meme, the identification thing that Nigerians say they have done to get identity portal. So how are they still not? They say they can't trace him. That's the information we got. Raji, with the meme identification system, what can these people?
You mean you see, Sir George had just mentioned it. It seems to me that it's a family affair. It is a family affair. There's Bello Turuji in Niger, or is it the other place?
Another Bello.
Yes, Bello Turuji, who sent his mother and family on the last Hajj. They were stopped probably in Saudi Arabia or before they left Nigeria. These people are known. They are known. They are part of the villages. So it's a family affair. So how can you allow yourself to be killed anyhow? How can you? Look, I discussed with somebody, and I was very, very disappointed. How can you be rehabilitating terrorists?
You can't do
terrorists.
that.
Building houses for them, marrying wives for them. Their rehabilitation policies in the budget.
Can you imagine?
And policemen who served this country for more than 35 years are being retired with only 2 million naira. Meanwhile, a terrorist who have been killing Nigerian security persons is being rehabilitated because he came to you. He said he's now repentant, and you are now giving him more than what the policeman got as terminal benefit after 35 years of service. You are building a house for him. You are marrying a wife for him.
Marrying wives for them. It's sad news, and it keeps occurring, George. It keeps occurring. You just gave a breakdown of that number: 56 people 38 were killed, 18 were left in need.
And they were
and this is
asking,
like
they were asking for
on
1 million naira per each on
each
each
person,
head, and then
on each.
money was paid to them, and yet they massacred and killed. Only 18 were freed. Okay, one of the village residents, Ibrahim Banga, said that the bandits executed the remaining victims one by one during their captivity. Can you imagine that? So tell me, what kind of heart does these people have? No human compassion on any kind. What are we dealing with here? We are dealing with absolute terrorists and criminals that needs to be dealt the hand that they're dealing to others. But we are there dancing around. Can you imagine having a rehabilitation fund in the government budget?
Budget.
It is sad.
Okay.
It is sad.
It's I mean, it's more than sad, George. It's terrible. Anyway, viewers, that's it. This is what we got during the week. We're doing some follow-up news from the weekend. Sad news there. Terribly gruesome deed. 38 hostages killed after collecting 50 million naira as ransom. Okay, let's smile a little. Gentlemen, let's put a small smile on our faces because there are more news here. The Super Falcon of Nigeria, that's a female football team, did some impressive outing. Right? I know you were watching that. Everybody was watching. There you go, viewers. You've seen this on screen of some shots from what happened. Let me hear from you guys. How do you feel? Nigerian Super Falcon fought through a lot and came to defeat. They came from the back end, and defeated Morocco 3-2 at the just concluded WAFCON final. Raji, let me hear from you.
It reminds me of the 1994 finals between Nigeria and Brazil when we were down. And in fact, in this case, the voice of Nigeria has already announced that the Moroccans have won, and they have even stopped their own transmission to either go and drink beer mourning the loss of Nigeria or something else before everything turned around.
Oh my God.
Everything.
So it's awesome. It's awesome.
It was an amazing thing.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah. This also makes me feel very, very proud of this country. We are not a nation yet, but there's a spirit in this country. The spirit that binds us together. Let our leaders please get things right for us. This country has a spirit that can move the world.
Not a joke. Not a joke.
Not a joke. Yes.
Not a joke at
George.
all.
So now, impressive outing, George. Go ahead. Let's start.
I was moderating a wedding this past weekend. A very popular wedding here in Canada. And then one of the attendees, after 2-0, to wet my tongue, he said, "Sir, unfortunately, the Nigerian Morocco is 2-0, so we've lost." That's what he said. So I said, "Oh my goodness, are they still playing?" He said, "Yes." So as I kept on moderating, after a few minutes, the guy just spilled his drink because he was excited. I said, "What's going on? Are you okay?" He's like, Yeah. We already scored 2. It's 2-2 now. I'm like, okay. I announced it in the hall. Everybody started shouting. A few minutes later, the last goal, the one that made it 3-2, just came. We exploded in that place. Even the celebrants all got involved in dancing for Nigeria. So it was a celebration that was incredible. It was amazing.
A celebration that was incredible, was amazing. Yes, amazing indeed. Gentlemen, this shows how ready we are for the world in events. This shows us how Nigerians are ready to pull through from back end and come, pull up to the top. So and it happens in all spheres, not just on this game now, in football, in entertainment, in science, in technology. We look like grappling in the dark, and all of a sudden, boom, we're there. So impressive outing, viewers. Nigerian Super Falcon fought back from 2 goals down to defeat Morocco 3-2 in the just concluded WAFCON final. The ladies were awesome. Esther Okoronkwo and Chiwundu. These were two ladies I observed.
The only thing I could do to celebrate them was to wear a little green shirt and a little bow tie that will not conflict with our colors in the Zoom. So that's the only thing. So all hail to our super young Eagles. You know, they are great, man. These people are just incredible. They did well.
Great.
They did good. And I hope that this is the time for the government to start paying attention. And instead of having a budget for the rehabilitation of all these criminals and all these terrorists, let them put a little money for the soccer, for the women's soccer, the male soccer, and all the sports in Nigeria. Let them put a good money out there, because there's still a brain drain happening when our soccer team, when they grow up, they go to Europe to play, rather than being able to monetize them locally. They can be monetized locally, if you know what I mean. And we have a lot of businesses in Nigeria that can support these people and to make sure that they stay with us and do what they need to do. It's very important that we concentrate.
I would like to mention 2 things that they need to do.
Go ahead.
If you go to the National Stadium in Surulere, you'll be appalled. Worse still is the MKO Stadium in Abuja.
Can you imagine?
I don't know what the hell is wrong with our sports ministry.
Can you imagine?
Can you hear that? Viewers, we are saying it real here. This is SSM Between the Line Monday, and we say the city with no compromising, no words held back. Nigerian government need to look more. Do you guys know that I was looking at for a small wrap-up I did? The information I got direct from Nigeria, where even they are traveling, these ladies, they are going to for this final, was ill prepared. They were ill prepared, as in those logistics, travel tickets, all these, I mean, we keep doing this every time we have this whole thing. The government, I don't know why this happens, George. It's sad. It's sad that, and these girls will, in that midst of that whole confusion, our men and women will still put through. George, it's sad.
Corruption is core in the brains and in the blood of many. I believe that the government, usually will apportion the money that they're supposed to use for these people, but along the line, whoever is on top and the people below him, they might be wanting to save money or to take part of that money for their own personal use. Because if the money is being released, what is the problem? What about, is it logistics? Is it that the people that are manning these young people don't know how to be able to put things together so that they can travel in peace and go and win the cup and come back to us? What is going on? Something is happening. The money might be released, but somebody is sitting on it or want to take a percentage of that money and not release the whole entire money. Or when it comes to the coffers of the people and they see that the government is corrupt or many of them are corrupt, what do? They want to take their own portion. And this is exactly the same thing we're talking about the police department. There's something that is happening. Why are they going over there getting bribes from people? Because they want to pay their office, the people on top. So we need to look into the protocols and all if money is released and a situation like this is coming up, who is manning these people? Who is controlling? Who is investigating to find out where the corruption is coming from so that we can go to the root and clip it from that place? Because it's too long and too much. Every day we're talking about the same thing, but nothing changes.
Yeah, nothing changes. Go to the root and click it.
It's always very interesting when we try to use a corrupt person to fight corruption. There's another thing about when we have a foreign coach. I don't know why we always look for a foreign coach. Most of the things that you have done well in our football has been done by local coaches. but the respect and the things they give to a foreign coach is far more than what they give to a local coach. The treatment of the local coach against the treatment they give to a foreign coach. Something has to be done about that. The coach that went with us, Mr. Madugu, the local coach, we didn't hear so much about whatever they were doing. In fact, their preparation was so hard, and yet these people, they are so committed. They made a name for themselves in spite of everything.
In spite of everything, they made a name for themselves. Late arrival of their kids, their jersey, late allowances paid, everything the other way, but still they made a name for themselves. Thank you, gentlemen. Gentlemen, let's just run through a small story, then we'll go on the break. Let's talk about the killing that just happened this morning in Bangkok. I don't know if you guys followed that story. Very gruesome story too. Thailand experienced one of its worst killing too. 5 people were killed, 4 security guards, a woman, and a man that was wreaking havoc eventually killed himself. George, we're not alone in this madness. It's not just Bangkok is not experiencing the old. What do you have? Tell us, what was the news from Bangkok?
Yeah, the tragedy struck Bangkok, or what you call the Tor Core market, as gunmen opened fire, killing 5 people, 4 security guards and female vendor, before taking his own life. Madness is all over the place, but it depends on the people. We saw in the U.S. when a rich man one time got mad at IRS and went and rented a private jet and just went and killed himself in the building. So you see mad people all over the place. But it depends on how you curtail those things. The shooting occurred around 12:30 p.m. their own local time, today. And the 2 women were also injured and they are receiving treatment. The shooter identified as Thai and had ongoing disputes with the market security team. So you see, it's some kind of dispute that brought about this. So authority confirmed that the attack was not linked to the recent border conflict with Cambodia, but it was just, that conflict that they were having locally.
Yes, it was.
An investigation is on the way, with police reviewing the CCTV footage and gathering evidence to determine the shooter's motive. But they've already told us. So Thailand, though generally peaceful, has seen few mass shootings in recent years, sparking national concern over public safety. So this is what we're seeing there. So this is one of those things you see in the U.S. a lot. People just take a gun and go and just start killing people unnecessarily, which is unacceptable. Our condolences to the families that are involved.
Yes. Raji, I got that news too, right? You people had that this morning.
Yes. But
Thailand
has done very good justice to the whole story. I don't have to add anymore.
Okay, so the killings. One thing about the times we're in is that people are ready to kill fellow human beings. And death is nothing too sacred again. I mean, before it's rare to hear. When you hear death, you're scared. But nowadays, people just really boom, 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 kill their fellow human being as if humans are now animals, hen and chicken. Sad, very sad indeed. So 6 people were killed Monday. There was a gunman opened fire in a marketplace in Bangkok, like George said, the capital of Thailand. And now number might even increase, but for now it's 6 people, and other people also were hurt. So let's take go get a glass of water, refresh your taste bud, and we're back because you're tuning into.
We have to stay hydrated. We have to stay hydrated. I got my water here.
Nice, George.
Ola,
nice. So,
Ola, you need to get some palm wine. That would refresh you.
I need
palm wine.
Nice idea.
Palm wine. I have my to the cold one. So let's take a break. We'll be back, gentlemen.
Elevate your new week, fuel your success. SSM invites you to kickstart each weekday with our news update Between the Lines, featuring the week's top news and analysis and the most attention-grabbing lines, deciphering world events. Hook up to SSM Monday program Between the Lines. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
All right, gentlemen. All right, viewers, we're back. We're back. Between the Lines, Monday, the 28th July. Some not too good news again. George, you mentioned that the gunman that opened fire at Bangkok, they are not putting it together with what is happening between the two countries, the border town of Thailand and Cambodia. Also had over 30 people dead. And many people displaced. Raji, you also have that story. This is now because of border clash that escalated and rendered a lot of people dead. Raji, did you hear that? Did that come?
It's quite saddening because between Cambodia and Thailand, they are the same people.
Mm-hmm.
The borders between them are just artificial borders.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure those people used to belong to the same village before the borders came on. It's also almost always because of diminishing resources, so that people now want to actually get more resources than the other. But I don't see how things like that would degenerate into killing of each other. There's something in the air that is making it make people very violent against each other. I think there should be something in the air because there's too much violence around the world now.
There's something in the air, Raji. It's too much. It's getting out of control. George, now 30 people dead, 5 people the other side. Nigeria, 38 all over the world. Violence, killings, raising fears among people. What's going on, George? To help us with
the only thing you can understand is this: it was said that in the last days that perilous times will come. Perilous times will come. You know, the love of many will wax cold. People are no longer caring about human lives that was sacred in the beginning. 200,000 people flee from their homes, displaced. In response, Cambodia is urgently, calling for an immediate ceasefire to stop the escalating conflict and to prevent further humanitarian crisis. Because what is going to happen is a lot of these people might die, and they might not be into the statistics that we will know, because they might not have, a way to collect data of the people that are actually dead, even up until now. So both countries are facing international pressure to resolve the dispute peacefully and protect, civilians caught in the crossfire. But what you're seeing, people are getting desperate. People are getting, and it is all across the world. And when we talk about this, look at it. There's always a conflict, even in Nigeria, in our own country, where brothers and sisters, after the father's death, they will start trying to kill each other because of, inheritance. And this is part of that thing that is happening. Look at Cambodia, a very nice place to take a vacation. I was even thinking about going to Cambodia very soon. To go over there and to relax and eat their food and enjoy the atmosphere. Now, all of a sudden, there's conflict all over the place. So hopefully, they will be able to stop this and stop that mess that is going on. Because as Olayinka Raji said, these are the same people. These are the same people. according to Trump, a line drawn
Mhm.
was the only thing that is separating Cambodia from from these people. So they need to really go back, sit down, and find a solution immediately before this thing escalates to another point, because it's not good.
It's not good at all. Yeah, viewers, these are some pictures we're getting from that whole thing. Cambodia calls for immediate ceasefire with Thailand. 30 people, I think that number might be more now. 30 people dead as a result of border clash, and hundreds and hundreds of people are also caught in that whole thing, running away, border clash issue. So it's sad. Take note that the Cambodian ambassador to the United States, to UN, has always been a very prominent figure in United Nations. You guys remember that man? I think he's called Shin Sham Q. I don't know how that name is spelled, but he's always talking about peace. Sadly, his country don't experience that. And he speaks most time at the United Nations. Most time calling for peace, peace, peace. Okay, let's move back to other stories, gentlemen. It's sad that we're seeing all of this. Let's come to what's happening in Lagos. Right, you were telling us the Lagos thing, but on the other side, we heard doctors began strike today over the renewed pay cuts. Is that true? They are demanding the government should intervene. What's that story with the doctors, Raji?
But I saw that Lagos State doctors are well taken care of. I'm sorry I have not gotten much about the news, but I don't think that any government will consider a pay cut. If you are not going to increase the pay of the doctors, I don't think there will be a consideration for pay cut. The last time I was in the hospital in the last week, I could see the pressure the doctors were operating under. Very, very serious pressure. And therefore, everything must be done to encourage them to stay. Otherwise, we may lose a lot of doctors.
I don't understand. Maybe somebody needs to explain something to me. The federal government recently gave themselves, both the Senate and the House, a hefty, fat salary increase. Nobody was there to stop them. Nobody was there to, argue against it. They just signed it up, and their fat salary is even getting fatter and fatter. So all these fat cats are there, and this stuff is happening in this particular place in Lagos. And I'm surprised that because the governor is such a wonderful guy that I didn't think that he will allow this to happen. So they declared 3-day warning strike over pay cuts. Why didn't they just quickly bring some kind of solution? About over 385 Lagos State doctors are said to be. They started their distant strike today. The strike follows what doctors call an illegal, disrespectful salary cut by the Lagos State government. Despite earlier negotiations and reversal of April deduction, the July salaries were slashed again, prompting renewed protest. The medical guide demands an immediate reversal of the deductions, full payment of 12 months of the CONMES and arrears, to consultant at LASUTH. So what I'm asking is this: when we know that these individuals, their efforts are not being met with the salary commensurate to what they are doing, we are still cutting their salary and trying to find ways of taking more money from them. Are they not afraid of this brain drain that we are experiencing in Nigeria? Because most doctors, they will graduate and leave. Who wants to stay there and suffer just simply because you have passion to save lives, and yet doing that, nobody cares about your welfare and your lifestyle? So I think that there must be an instant solution that needs there's immediate government union resolution framework that needs to take place immediately. Number one, the Lagos State government should urgently reconvene the reconciliation committee with equal representation from the medical guard and the relevant government bodies. Number 2, to reach a binding agreement on salary structure, repayment owed to companies arrears, and a timeline for disbursement. We need to move immediately. The government also to reach a binding agreement. When this agreement is met, they have to provide a body that will be looking and monitoring these things. Because if we don't do it, do you know who the victims are going to be? Because when our government officials are sick, what do? They travel abroad for their medical treatment. So the people that are unable to travel abroad for medical treatment are at the mercy of this mess. So now if the doctors go on strike, you don't know how many people are going to die because of this. So I think that the goal that they should be looking for right now as we speak is to prevent future breakdowns in communication and ensure consistent engagement between the doctors and the government, so that these people can at least take a little bit of breath of fresh air when they are suffering, doing working hours upon hours, trying to treat people. Come on, give them enough money. Why are they working like elephants and eating like ants? That's not fair. No, it's not fair. Somebody got to fight for these people.
Thank you, George. You started the fight online, which is good. We hope you're listening out there. Medical doctors in Lagos State government deducted their salary, and they are all protesting. It's a 3-day protest, George. Is that correct? And
3-day protest.
We want to see. We want to see Sean to this whole thing. So Raji, we would like to have the update as it goes on. Please put your eye on the news. It's happening right for you there, Lagos. All right, gentlemen, we'll begin to wrap it up. But let's do some small news also. Aliko Dangote retires as the chairman of the Dangote Cement, and a new boss has taken lead. It's called Ike Zubo. Emmanuel Ike Zubo has taken the lead as the chairman of the Dangote Cement. Will this bring reduction in the price of cement, Raji?
I hope so, because Dangote cement sells cheaper in Ghana than in Nigeria.
Whoa!
So I hope so. And then I also hope that the monopoly that he has been enjoying will now be broken, so that Ibeto Cement will rise again, so that all other cement companies that were beaten into the mud will find their feet back on again.
Wow.
However, he's going into the petroleum industry. He has already started talking about government banning importation, and his monopolistic ideas is already rising. So I don't know whether it's time to celebrate or not. But until the price of cement comes down considerably, at least to the price that is being paid for it in Ghana, I think, or in Tanzania, I think we'll be better off.
You don't think it's the tax he's being levied in Nigeria that makes it high like that, or what could be that reason for that that rate? Maybe the tax also in all these other countries are minimal compared to what we have in Nigeria. George, don't you think so? Or Raji, help us. Well, you have an understanding of this.
Is it, when you have a monopoly, you can do anything you want. Dangote ensured that he had a monopoly. Every other cement factory that wanted to come up was beaten into the ground. Lafarge is able to survive because it is an international company. It has international background. There's a backing, and Lafarge is really steeped in cement production, at least in the southwest. He was forced to let Lafarge leave, but Ibeto Cement was beaten into the ground.
These are
yes. Go ahead.
This is what we call systemic corruption. Systemic corruption, because if in a capitalistic environment, when situations like this are coming, the government fights against it. That's why you see most of the time, you see, like America will call somebody, say they're getting too big and they're getting too strong. They will just try to, ensure that they don't do that, because they did it with Facebook. He got when I got WhatsApp, and he also got what do you call it, Instagram. So all of it, yeah,
Instagram.
they grabbed him, and yet upon that he opened another one. So he was saying that it wasn't a monopoly. But the point is, when they are so big and have so much money, they can actually lose money in order to get you out of by reducing price of their products in order to run you out of business, which the government ought to be looking into, because there are so many subsidy being given to Aliko Dangote, so much subsidy being given to him. And we didn't know this originally until this, final time when, the refinery was about to open up, and they started talking about, how much money was loaned to him privately, secretly, and the government invested in that. So that's how we know that a lot of times, as a matter of fact, he was chasing Asiwaju all over the place for a moment, because, they were demanding that money, of which, if that was not the case, he could have just taken over, take that money, work with it until a new government comes in, and that's the end of the whole situation. Because there is no transfer mentality with our government. It's the winner takes it all. So when the new winner comes, everything is flushed before them, flushed into the toilet, which is part of the weakness that we have in our governance. And it needs to stop. Because it's happening in the state. When a new governor is elected, all of a sudden, everything else before them is flushed away. All the contracts are cancelled. The unfinished projects cannot even continue to go. So, these are the little foxes that is destroying the vine of our unity and our country. They are messing up a lot of businesses and our infrastructure. So the government must look into this. But most of the time, the reason why they don't is simply because of the cutbacks and under the table money that is given to some of these people. So,
Thank you, George.
yeah, something needs to happen.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, straight up, George. Straight up. Viewers, this is what we had this morning. Dangote stepped down as the chairman of the Dangote Cement, and he has handed it over to the man you see there on the right hand, Emmanuel Ikezubo. He says he wants to focus on the refinery and the petrochemical industry of his company. So that this change might bring some small.
I just wanted to, let me just say something. Dangote is only 68 years old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
68.
that. Okay.
So it is so beautiful. I mean, this man is operating from an international standard, because most of them will now still remain there. Whether they like, whether they are dying or not, they just want to sit over there. But I think his operation is so, I like the way he just at the age of 68, before he even turned 70, he's retiring. I know he's still going to be involved in the business, because this guy, Ike Buzo, or whatever his name is, he's worked with the company for 40 years. He's been with Dangote for so many years. And well experienced in different areas. So hopefully you might bring a breath of fresh air to the operation, and hopefully he will continue with the good thing, but maybe stop all these monopolistic tendencies that are with the operation in Dangote business.
Yes, thank you. All right, gentlemen, let's crop it up with Ambra. About 3 months from now, November, Anambra State, Southeast Nigeria, will be going to polls to pick new governor. In Nigeria, some states has, George, I think you know that some state has what you call the off-season
elections.
Yeah, because they
just like
somehow
Imo State and some other places.
Yes, Ekiti State, Anambra State. So let's analyze the Anambra election. This morning, Soludo, the present governor, said he's coming. In fact, he's not doubting his return. He says the major players in the competition, in the thing that in fact there are no challengers. He says they're all running around looking for fun. They can't sustain the campaign. Raji, let me start with you. your in-laws, the Anambra people are going to polls by November. Who do you think might win? Who will Soludo remain?
Yeah. As you think so, Abga will almost always win election in Anambra. Abga. There's
True.
no other opposition to them. There's no PDP. APC is not an Anambra party, and the Labour Party is in a sort of semi-coma with their own internal crisis. So that leaves a space for Soludo to continue.
Okay.
Well,
It
it's
just
laughable.
started it. Go
It's,
ahead, George.
it's laughable when you ask, who do you think is going to win? He's an incumbent president, you know. I mean, the INEC, officially announced the November 8th, 2025 election. But, Yakubu just made the announcement during a meeting with the political parties in Abuja in line with the Electoral Act. The formal notice will be published on November 13th, 2020. Was published in 2024. So party primaries will start in March 20th to April 10th, 2025. Candidate nomination April 18th to May 12th. Campaign begins June 11, 2025. And campaigns on midnight November 6th. They're going to be doing some things. It will stop then. So voting will take place across 5,720 units in Anambra. Yakubu also gave updates on preparation for the Ondo governor's election happening in less than a month, urging parties to align with INEC timetable and avoid delays. So what we're seeing here is, yes, indeed, whether we like it or not, unless something miraculous happens, this man is going to be there for 8 years. He's an incumbent governor. So they made sure that they clipped the wings of those who were becoming a little bit strong in that place. They make sure of it. There's a guy called what's his name again? What's his name?
George Moghalu. George
No,
Moghalu.
not that one. There's another one.
Party candidate.
There was another one.
guy.
Yeah,
The APC guy.
He ran with the APC guy. They clipped him also. I forgot his name now, but actually he was here in Canada with us a couple of years ago, and then he was actually becoming very, very strong. I forgot his name, but
Okay,
anyway,
George,
they made sure that they discarded him.
Let me ask you this. With this merger of LP, PDP, and ADC, you think it would be a walkover for APGA because George Moghalu, for example, he's carrying some crowd. We saw his rally, we saw a number of people coming out to support him, and he's representing the LP party. So with that, I mean, it might not be business as usual. It could be Now, I'm just saying, Raji.
Okay.
What do you, Raji?
No, George has said it all. You don't start your campaign as dictated by INEC. By his governance, Soludo has already started his campaign long ago. He has a long period to ensure that he does a second term. The LP, ADC or whatever, the coalition is not going to disrupt anything in Anambra State, and I don't think it's going to disrupt much across most states. Probably at the presidential level.
This morning, Atiku came up and said, now everybody's learning the ethics, the politics 101 style of Tinubu, and that style is he really believes in people. He moves his men into all strategic corners, So now Atiku is learning that. Atiku says he's going to make sure Ekiti comes to the coalition, Ekiti State. We've not heard what he will say about Anambra, but I think his eyes there too. Because the more the state a party has, the better for them. George, you're laughing.
I'm laughing.
We're
talking about Asiwaju. Hey, we're talking about Asiwaju.
And about Ekiti.
He's
No,
a strong
forget it.
man. So what we're seeing here, there are two faces of politics in Nigeria, whether we like it or not. Okay, this is not
Mhm.
something that we're supposed to be saying, but we gotta say it. Two faces. There is the daylight politics of Nigeria and daylight election, and then we know the dark side and the night side of election. So people will go and suffer and stand in line during the daytime, and they will do their bidding and everything they do. They will suffer and they will do everything. But after the daylight election, you come to the nighttime election. The nighttime election determines who wins. So, and that's all we're going to say about this. We'll leave it alone because we are an international newscast. So we leave that alone. So number one is it will be very, very difficult because what happens is this: go and make yourself shine. Shine so much so that whether you like it or not, you know what it was gonna. Even if I lose, because I shine so much, I will win. You know what I mean? That's it.
Nah. That's a
Shine.
good one. All right, Sean.
I agree
That's
with
all I'm.
I agree with Sir George
Uh,
to an extent. When the knives are out in the night, the night of the long knives,
Mhm.
you know where the men stand.
Yeah,
hmm.
freaks come out at night. You know, things happen that are not.
But
You
but
know,
but 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 it shouldn't be. You guys know that shouldn't be. The night
There is
career movement shouldn't
there,
be.
there's
But these are
there's
this.
there is subterranean movement in every election in every country.
no. The terrestrials walk during the day. The celestials walk at night. So that's all we're gonna say. And somebody can
All
ask me,
right.
why do you speak in parables? I say because
Uh-huh.
for those who understand, if they are
You
able to
understand.
understand, let them understand. Simple.
Let them understand. All right.
That's
Well,
it.
we just finished talking about the viewers. We just finished talking about the Anambra State election that's coming up in November. Anambra is southeast of Nigeria, and they're having the election in November. So we stay and watch. We're here to also follow up on all of those. Gentlemen, I think we've done our thing. Raji, want to thank you for coming. George, you guys have any few words, anything to say before we go?
Let there be peace. Let there be love between
Mm,
mankind. Let there be peace. Let
mm,
the starvation, deliberate starvation and genocide ongoing in Gaza stop. Let there be peace. Let America put back its weapons and stop meddlesomeness and causing strife and tribulation across the world. 850
mm.
military posts around the globe out for 200 countries in the world. Uh-uh. Let there be peace.
Okay. Let there be peace. Raji, George, yes.
My peace, I will echo the same thing. Let there be peace. But also, Benjamin Netanyahu, please stop lying and stop this nonsense about that children are not dying. Stop it. You need to stop that nonsense because these are lives and their blood will be on your head if you're not careful. Let's stop all this genocidal killing of these children, suffering and dying. Washoko. I'm able to say this because I know Biafra went through the same thing. I was a little boy then, but I was able to remember some of my friends who died of Kwashoko. And this is exactly what is happening in 2025 in Gaza Strip. They need to stop that nonsense, and America need to stop. Make sure that they mandate these people to quit. Allow food to go into that place. They're violating every world order that was put together when it comes to war. How are you starving children, for goodness sake? You're not going to allow them to eat, and they will die of starvation. Their souls are before Almighty God. So they need to stop that nonsense. Whatever the world mandates as a war, the rules of engagement when it comes to war, they must obey it. They need to stop it. For goodness sake, these are lives. Generations are
Strong
being
word.
wiped away. Can you
Yeah.
imagine?
Good.
70 people
Thank
went
you.
to Egypt. More than 2 million came out in 400 years. You're
Yeah.
wiping
All
away
right, George.
generations
Thank
of
you.
people.
Thank
We
you.
need to
Thank
stop
you.
that.
Thank you. We'll be back. Yes, thank you.
Let there be
Passionate
peace.
words. Yes, it's been heard. It
Let there be
echoes
peace.
well. Viewers, this is it. Between the lines, Monday, the 28th of July will come. Raji from Lagos, Nigeria, George from Toronto, Canada, and me, Mark Godwin from Milan, Italy. So come again Wednesday. Have a beautiful week. God bless you. Bye.
Elevate your new week, fuel your success. SSM invites you to kickstart each weekday with our news update Between the Lines, featuring the week's top news and analysis and the most attention-grabbing lines, deciphering world events. Hook up to SSM Monday program Between the Lines.